Okay. So we're doing Mishnayos Bava Metzia. We're in the fourth parak, the eighth Mishnah. You can find it on page 117, the handouts that are on the Bima. We're learning Lezecher Nishmas Nachshon Meir ben Tzvi Ariel. So we are now saying Chamisha Chumshin Hain, that there are 5 different fifths. What are the 5 fifths? So it means there are 5 different categories of things where you pay an extra fifth on top. It's a knas, it's a fine. You pay on top of what you would normally pay, an extra fifth. By the way, every time this fifth is mentioned, it really means a fourth. Because like if you owe $100 and you now need to pay a fifth on top of the $100, it means you're going to pay $125. So it's a quarter of 125, but now it's a fifth of, now that you've added the 25, it's a fifth of the 125. So it's always what's milavar. It's always from the above, from the higher fifth, as it were, which is in some ways a quarter. What are these 5 fifths? Ha'ochel truma, somebody who eats truma. So this is category number 1 of the 5. Somebody who eats truma who's not non-Kohen, so that's really stealing the truma. Then trumas meiser, or they eat trumas meiser. Trumas meiser is now this is still part of category 1, all truma related things. Trumas meiser is the first you give up to the truma to the Kohen, then you give a tenth to the Levi. The Levi takes a tenth of that and gives it back to the Kohen. So a person who eats that, which is also considered truma, trumas meiser shall demai, or if you have the trumas meiser of demai. Demai is a situation where you have somebody who's an amaretz, somebody who's generally not so careful. This person is not so careful about maestros. They're careful about truma, the first truma, but once they give the maestros to the Levi, they're not so careful about the tenth of a tenth, which is also truma. We call trumas meiser. Because of that, we have to assume that when they give you stuff, you have to assume that there's some trumas meiser in there. So even though it's a questionable damai, what is it? We're not sure. Nonetheless, we're strict about it. So if you have meiser from damai, also somebody eats that instead of giving it to a kohen or selling it to a kohen. V'chala, or if you have chala, right, you have to separate off from the chala, we know. And that really, ideally, today we burn it, but used to be, you would give it to the kohen. So somebody who eats that as well, they have to pay back what they took plus a fifth in all these cases. V'bikurim, also for first fruits. The first fruits also, which one brings to Yerushalayim, really gives to the kohen. You eat any of those things, mosif chomesh. You have to add this extra fifth. Okay, that's category number 1. Category number 2, v'apoda neta ravai u'maiser sheni shalo. Somebody who redeems the fruit from year 4 you're not allowed to eat. First 3 years you can't eat at all. Year 4, you have to bring it to Yerushalayim. So somebody who bring it to Yerushalayim, that's a big pain. It's a lot of fruit. So you're going to bring all that fruit? No, you're not going to bring all that fruit. What you're going to do is you're going to buy it back, and then you'll be able to eat it normally. You take the money to Jerusalem and buy fruit there, but you have to add a fifth in terms of the amount of money. You're redeeming $100 worth of fruit. You have to bring $125 to Yerushalayim to buy food there. Or Meiser Sheni Shalo, or somebody's Meiser Sheni, right? Years 1, 2, 4, and 5 out of the 7-year Shemitah cycle, after you've given the Truma, and after you've given a tenth to Levi, then you take another tenth off, and you take that up to Jerusalem to eat it. Again, might be a lot of fruit, a lot of stuff, so you redeem it, and you add an extra fifth, right? Most of Chumash, you add a fifth to that. Now, Hapodes Hekdesho, somebody who redeems his Hekdesh, meaning you've sanctified your Lamborghini to the Beis HaMikdash. The Beis HaMikdash doesn't really need your Lamborghini. You want it back, so you have to buy it back plus a fifth. Most of Chomesh. Hanena b'shava pruta min hekdesh, most of Chomesh. Or if you enjoy one shava pruta, it's a very small coin, very small amount, but you enjoy a little bit, the minimum of hekdesh, of sanctified stuff. You enjoy that, you eat it, or you take advantage of it. So then you have to pay back plus an added fifth. Or if you steal at least a shava pruta from your friend, v'nishbalo, and then you take an oath, I didn't steal that, no, not me. And then you end up admitting, oh yeah, that was me, I did steal it. So then Mosef Chomesh, you have to pay back the original amount, the Karen, and you have to add the extra fifth. And it's, of course, this is the minimum. Minimum is a shava pruta. The pruta is sort of like the small coin, eighth of an Isser Italki. It's a very small amount of money. Maybe even like 5 cents, 10 cents. It's a very small amount. But any less than that, basically, is not adjudicable. Anything more than that, certainly all of these, the rules do apply, and you would have to add a fifth.